Hello friends, we will talk about R. K. Narayan's popular short story prescribed in our syllabi titled An Astrologer's Day. First of all, we will take a short review of R. K. Narayan, his life and contribution to Indian writing in English. Rashipuram Krishnaswamy Narayan Swamy is a full name of R.K. Narayan. He is a well-known novelist, essayist, and short story writer in Indian writing in English. He was born in 1906 and died in 2001. His popular works include Swamy and Friends, The Bachelor of Arts, The Financial Expert, The Guide, Waiting for the Mahatma, The Vendor of Sweets, Man Eater of Malgudi, and Malgudi Dates. Narayan's The Guide received the Sahitya Akademi Award for the year 1960. He was awarded Padma Bhushan by the central government in 1964. He narrates very common aspects of Indian life in his literary works. Narayan's stories end with an unexpected twist. The present story, An Astrologer's Day, is a very interesting short story composed by R.K. Narayan. It is a typical R.K. Narayan story which concludes with an interesting twist. The story tells about an astrologer to whom people were attracted and easily misguided. In this story, there are three characters, namely astrologer, number 2 Guru Nayak, and number 3 astrologer's wife. This is a common experience in India that people in India are highly superstitious and trusting. Such people can be easily misguided and exploited by someone who is very cunning and selfish in nature. The story An Astrologer's Day, which talks about an astrologer to whom people were fully attracted. The astrologer said those things which pleased and astonished everyone. Long practice of astrologer has sharpened his perception and he attracted the common people in the village. The astrologer was a very common person who sat on the footpath under a tamarind tree with his equipments useful for his business of astrology. He wears a dress like a religious person and sacred ash and vermilion on his forehead. The astrologer said those things which pleased and astonished many people of the city, and hence people in the village were easily attracted towards him. The astrologer starts practice at city's town hall park, which is a busy street full with sellers of medicine, hardware, junk, magicians, and cheap cloth. It was a very busy street full with medicine sellers and all other people. This kept the street busy, resulting in a good business for the astrologer. The astrologer used to start his business by midday with his equipment laid spread on the footpath under a tamarind tree. He mastered his art skillfully and would talk so pleasingly that people would be easily entrapped and attracted towards him. His years of observation on men and women and their manners helped him earn his living. He had become an astrologer by chance, by accident, as he had to run away from his own village without informing anybody, or else he would have lived a happy life, tilling his family land, marrying with a girl, and settling down in a village. But it was never to be. The page of the astrologer was very different one. Years and years of practice and reading about men's psyche has made him sharp-witted. He used his stock readings on everyone, which included common issues like life's troubles, marriage, wife, money, and these never failed him. The innocent people of the village would be easily beguiled. He charges only 3 paise per question. He had a good business from this astrology. Every day after twilight, he used to close his belongings and go back home. This is the routine practice of the astrologer. Today, he started putting his things back into the bag as the time is over, but suddenly he saw a man walking on the road towards him. The astrologer thinks that this is a new client that is approaching towards him. When this new client came towards the astrologer, he refused to believe any astrology. After long callings, the man agreed to sit in front of the astrologer, but not without a hot exchange of words. Finally, the astrologer and the stranger agreed and decided that if the astrologer gave correct answers of his questions about his future, he would pay him 8 annas. But if the astrologer was wrong, he would have to pay the man double of 8 annas. It means 16 annas that the astrologers has to repay to the stranger. Suddenly the astrologer saw the man's face clearly when the man lit his cigar. He was fully afraid and wanted to leave the place. The astrologer tried to avoid the situation by asking the man to withdraw. However, he became ready to return to the man's money which he has taken from him. He sincerely requested him to cancel the bet of the 8 annas. But the stranger was very adamant of his words and asked the astrologer to give the answers of his questions. Now the astrologer wanted to cancel this bet, but the stranger wanted the astrologer to take up the challenge. The astrologer was scared. He was angry, but he had to accept the challenge due to the adamant nature of the stranger. As the astrologer began his work, his usual way of talking about the common issues like women, nature, manners, so on and so forth, he was stopped in between by the client to ask if he would succeed in his present search or not. Astrologer was very confident in this situation and he asked him he would answer the question only if the man agreed to pay 1 rupee and not of the 8 anna. This offer of the astrologer was immediately accepted by the stranger because the stranger wants to hear his future from the astrologer. The astrologer, holding the client's palm in his hand, started narrating the future of the life of the stranger. Looking towards the stranger, the astrologer told him that a knife had passed through your body and you have left as a dead person once in your past life. He also called the client by his name as Guru Nayak. This surprised the client, and the client was astonished, understanding that how the astrologer knows his name. The astrologer continued that the man he was searching for is now dead. A lorry crushed him, and in this accident, the man that Guru Nanak was searching is no more. He also warned the client that if he traveled southwards, his life would be in danger once again, and he should travel southwards, his life would be in danger once again, and he should catch the first train and return to his village immediately. Then and then only he would live for 100 years. When he heard his future from the astrologer, the client was very much satisfied to hear about the tragic death and left the place happily. After the stranger left the place, the astrologer bundled his equipment and and reached home at midnight. He handed over the money to his wife. Today he was very happy because he has taken a large amount from the stranger. The wife of the astrologer was very happy to see more than usual money and decided to bring jaggery and coconut for the children. The children was thirsty for the sweet, and today from this client's money, the astrologer wants to fill up the thirst of their children by bringing a jaggery and a coconut. When the astrologer asked her how much amount he has given, the wife of the astrologer simply answered that it was 8 annas. Actually, the client assured the astrologer to give 1 rupee instead of 8 anna in order to hear future of his life. It makes it makes a kind of anger in the mind of the astrologer, but he went to sleep with a sigh of relief because a large burden of his life, a large burden of his life has gone today. The stranger was nothing but the man he had stabbed with knife and run away from the village, and here he becomes an astrologer. Hence, his burden is relieved as he saw the man alive. In short, the astrologer is nothing but a person who has stabbed with a knife to a stranger, and this stranger person is in front of him. The astrologer always thinks that the stranger that he had stabbed with knife once in his village is no more. However, the stranger was alive. With understanding that the stranger is alive, the burden of the astrologer is relieved when he saw the man alive. He narrates this incident to his wife, and he says that this Guru Nayak is nothing but a person that he had stabbed and dropped into a well. We come to know about this fact when the astrologer tells his wife about the reason he had left the village. And this is the main reason that the astrologer left his village and came in the new place, and here he learned astrology and start this new business. Later on, he marries with a woman, and a new marital life has been started in a new place. He says that he is relieved to find the man alive. So this is the final twist that Arkinran has given at the ending part of the story. The astrologer is able not only to get out a tricky situation but also to avoid danger in future with the help of his skill. So this is a story of Arkin Ryan's and astrologer's day. Now, dear students, I have also given essay type questions for your practice. There are two questions. One, how does the astrologer use to beguile people? And number two, describe in detail the encounter between the astrologer and Guru Nanak. So, try to prepare these questions as you own and show me later on. Then there is one activity, the episode of the Astrologer's Day in the television series of Malgudi Days is available on the below link which I have given, and I'm quite sure that all of you will see this episode by clicking the link which I have given. Then there are 10 multiple choice questions which I have given for your understanding. I will read these questions and the answers of the questions. Question number 1, Arkin Ryan is a dash dash writer. He is an Indian writer. Question number 2, what is the full name of Arkin Ryan? There are 4 options, and option number C, that is Rasipuram Krishna Swami Narayan Swami, is a correct one. Question number 3, which of the following place occurs in R.K. Narayan's stories? There are 4 options, Calcutta, Mumbai, Mysore, Malgudi. Malgudi appears in R.K. Narayan's stories. Question number 4, who wrote an astrologer's day? There are 4 options again, Dr. K.L. Rao, R.K. Narayan, Mahatma Gandhi, none of the above. Correct option is B, R.K. Narayan. Next question, an astrologer's day is a dash dash. Story, essay, poem, autobiography. It is an story. Option number A is correct. Question number 6. Who is the central character in R.K. Narayan's story, An Astrologer's Day? 4 options. A, astrologer's wife. B, Guru Nanak. C, astrologer. And D, none of the above. Option C, astrologer, is correct one. Question number 7. Whose encounter is narrated in R.K. Narayan's story, An Astrologer's Day? Option number A, astrologer and the writer. B, astrologer and Guru Nanak. C, astrologer and the stranger. D, none of the above. Option number B, astrologer and Guru Nanak, is correct one. Question number 8. Who wrote my autobiography? R.K. Narayan, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Charles Chaplin, none of the above. Option A, R.K. Narayan, is correct one. Next question, how much amount that the astrologer charged per question from the clients? Option number A, 3 paise, B, 4 paise, C, 5 paise, and D, 6 paise. Option number A, 3 paise. And the last questions, what was the name of the client that came across the astrologer? A, Guru Nanak. B, Guru Govind, C. Both A and B, and D. None of the above. Option A is correct one, that is Guru Nanak. Dear friends, correct answers have been given at the ending part of this slide. So this is about an astrologer's day.